President Trump has reversed another one of President Obama's national policies that he issued by executive order because he couldn't get it through Congress. This time, it's the policy that told school districts they would lose their funding for special needs students in lunch programs unless they allowed anatomical males who desire to be female to undress in the girls' locker rooms. Well, per usual, this is being met with howls of indignation from the left about returning to the days of Jim Crow. He's repealing protections for transgender students, they insist. Well, let's talk about that for a moment. Which rights exactly would he be repealing? Is it the right to go anywhere you want, anytime you want? Is it the right to undress in front of people you want to undress in front of? Or maybe it's the right to force others to undress in front of you. I don't recall any of those rights from my law school classes. I do, however, recall the right to bodily privacy, which, by the way, includes the right to control who sees you without your clothes off. If you're inclined to be indignant about the fact that President Trump would allow local school districts the freedom to deal with these unique challenges on a case-by-case basis, maybe an analogy will help. Imagine that in an effort to cure homelessness, President Obama had issued an executive order declaring it illegal to have a lock on your front door. After all, locks on front doors discriminate against the homeless in their desire to find shelter. Then imagine President Trump reversed that national policy to allow homeowners the right to lock their doors again. People wouldn't be outraged by the rollback of homeless people's right to shelter because we still acknowledge the importance of private property rights. Is it discriminatory to lock your front door? Of course it is. But it's also completely appropriate because you don't solve the problem of homelessness by revoking the right to private property. Why then have we so easily given up on our wives' and daughters' right to bodily privacy? Ironically, some of the same voices that howl about the rape culture scorn women who now fight for the right to make healthy boundaries. But what about the rights of transgender people? I hear you. And yes, they too have rights. They should have the right to live how they see fit. If they want to live as the opposite gender, the law should not prohibit them from doing so. And similarly, children who experience gender dysphoria also have the right to be treated compassionately in school and otherwise. However, their reasonable expectation of kindness does not carry with it the right to ignore the privacy rights of every other student. Nor does the right to identify how they prefer carry with it the right to force everyone else in the world to agree with their new identity and change the way they think, speak, and act to accommodate it. You cannot reasonably demand the right to be who you are while seeking to punish others for being who they are. If you wish to receive tolerance, you must also give tolerance. And significantly, tolerance has never been about finding agreement about everything, but achieving civility despite our inevitable disagreements. By reversing the Obama guidance regarding gender, President Trump has simply reaffirmed the idea that parents, teachers, administrators, and school boards are in a much better position to find a solution to these school-specific challenges than Washington, D.C. is. It doesn't repeal anyone's rights. In fact, it once again restores an environment where everyone's rights are allowed to be taken into consideration. And no one should object to that, unless, of course, you think the best way to solve the homelessness problem is making it illegal for people to lock their front door. For the Family Policy Institute of Washington, I'm Joseph Backholm.